and today I'll be discussing a part of Philippine history, the Tributo, form of taxation imposed during the Spanish colonial period. This presentation will cover the historical background of the Tributo, its impact on the Filipino people, and my reflection on how it compares to the taxation system we have today. Understanding historical taxation help us see how governance and public responsibility have evolved our time and why it still matters today.
Historical background. The tributo was the main form of tax imposed by the Spanish colonial government on native Filipinos, known them as Indios. It was first introduced in the late 15,000s, soon after Spain colonized the Philippines. The tributo was a fixed annual tax that each Filipino family had to pay to the colonial government. Originally, it was around 8 reales, which could be paid on cash or in kind such as rice, textiles, or other goods. The Spanish authorities collected the tributo to fund local governance, the salaries of colonial officials, and especially the Catholic Church and Spanish military presence. The tax was collected by local leaders called Gobernadorcillo and Cabeza de Barangay, who were under the authority of Spanish friars and officials. This system not only burdened the people but also helped enforce Spain's control over Filipino communities. In addition to the tributo, there were also other forms of tax like brandala, which forced Filipinos to sell goods to the government at low prices, and the cedula, which came later. Impact and analysis. The tributo had both negative and limited positive effects on the Filipino people. Negative effects. The tributo was a huge burden for most Filipino families, especially those who were poor or living in rural areas. Abuse and corruption were common. Local collectors often overcharged or kept part of the tax for themselves. It led to resentment and distrust of the government. Some communities even tried to resist Spanish rule because of unfair taxation. Limited positive aspects. In theory, the tax helped fund infrastructure such as roads, bridges, and local government operations. It also supported the Catholic Church, which played a role in educational and social services at the time. However, many historians argue that these benefits were outweighed by the exploitation and inequality that the system created. The tributo became a symbol of colonial control and one of the reasons behind eventual revolts like the Philippine Revolution. When we look at modern taxation in the Philippines today, we can see both similarities and differences. Like the tributo today, taxes still help fund government services, infrastructure, education, and public health. However, modern taxes are more systematic, legal, and ideally more equitable. Unlike during the Spanish era, Filipinos now have representation through elected leaders, and taxation is based on income and business, not forced tribute. There is also more transparency through corruption still exists. What can we learn from the tributo? It teaches us that taxation must be fair, transparent, and accountable. If people feel overburdened or that their money is being misused, trust in government breaks down just like it did centuries ago. So whether it's the tributo in the 16,000 or income tax today, the principle are the same: tax should serve the people, not oppress them.